Hey everybody, welcome back to Diablo's Love Nest. It's Kark. We're going to go fight the Dragon God, assuming he hasn't been replaced by Belial. No, in all seriousness, we are going to go fight the Dragon God. I do have to be upfront. Unfortunately, there were some serious technical issues during this recording. Specifically, at some point the recording crashes, and I'm not sure what caused it. Now, right now I'm checking my world tendency, by the way. I'm making sure that the Stone Fang is, in fact, in pure white for reasons. We'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, the recording software crashed for some reason. And it also caused an audio crash as well. I'm not sure what happened. I think there might have been some background resource intensive thing going on that I wasn't aware of, like a Windows update or something. And my CPU just had a brain fart, I guess. I have a pretty high-end PC, so something like this is pretty rare. But sometimes it happens. Either way, I was fortunate in that the footage wasn't really lost. I lost it once the crash happened, but the actual footage up until that point was okay. The audio didn't fare so well. The audio file was basically corrupt and just couldn't be played back. So I'm having to overdub now. Right now I've decided I'm going to put on the Ring of Avarice because why not go ahead and get more souls. I did go ahead and buy that after I killed Flamelurker in 3-1. And I'm also showing off my Dragon Longsword +5, which I did upgrade all the way to +5 after clearing 2-1 or 2-2. Specifically, once you clear the lava, which I discussed in the last video, what you get for doing it and so on. Once you clear the lava, you might need to do a little large bugbear farming, but that's pretty much it, and you'll have enough materials to get to the Dragon Longsword +5. Remember, the large bugbears are guaranteed to drop shards on every kill. Sometimes they'll drop chunks. I think the main issue I had once I cleared out the lava was I just needed a lot more shards. And I think I needed like one more chunk than I had. All told, I think I farmed the bugbears by running back from Flamelurker back toward the bugbears maybe for 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. And that's really all it took. And I had all the materials I needed. And you'll be seeing a lot of that Dragon Longsword at +5 moving forward from here on out. I'm pretty much just using it for the rest of the game until much later. So here's old Dragon God. He wants to give us a punch right in the face. That's what he loves to do. But I'm just kind of watching him, seeing how he punches. And here's a little gecko. I'm surprised I had the gumption to go for a gecko right here because really it's not safe to do so. That's okay. But he lost sight of me because I had to go behind the pillar. So his eyes are yellow, so I know he doesn't see me right now. And now I'm going to run over here to pick up the Dragonbone Smasher, which is accessible because we're in pure white world tendency. Now what's important about the Dragonbone Smasher, whether you want to use it as a weapon or not, and beyond its Berserk crossover implications, is it is a reference weapon for Berserk, the manga anime by Kentaro Miura, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year. A blunt lump of iron that smashes foes, said to have been forged by the ancestors of the Stone Fang miners to be utilized against the dragons, imbued with a spell to protect the wielder from fire, mocked by blacksmiths who snidely refer to it as a slab rather than a sword. That's once again a straight up Berserk reference. Goto, who forges the the Dragon Slayer in Berserk, which is the sword Guts uses, actually calls it a slab of meat, and less than not a sword, but a slab of meat. So even the reason I'm going to use this, even though I don't have the stats to equip it, and I'm just playing with my equip load here to see if I can get under 50%. I can't without showing off my hair, so I decide not to do it because that's all that matters, not showing my hair. The reason I'm going to try to use it, even though I don't have the stats, is because it can break the pillars in one hit. And there are a lot of pillars blocking me from getting to the objectives I need to kill the Dragon God. So here I break a pillar, and I move, and I move, and he throws this little punch in. And something hits me there. I have no idea what it was, but I survived it. I can only assume it's some sort of residual something. I don't know. Like, I got hit by it again right there. I'm like, I guess he's double punching, but wherever the second punch is, it's way back and probably shouldn't be hitting me. So I'm really not sure what's doing that extra damage. It feels like it's fire-based, though, because I'm actually surviving it. And there, as you can see, there's a few loots in this level, and there are a few geckos here, too. The geckos really don't matter. You can kind of ignore them. It's nice if you're able to take them out, but you don't have to, per se. So we're firing off the first giant ballista bolt, which now has to be some sort of magic super laser ballista bolt, as opposed to just being a ballista bolt like it was in the original game. Dragon God doesn't like that, so he destroys the ballista, which is funny because if you fail to kill Dragon God, guess what? The ballista's going to be there again, despite the fact that he punched the hell out of it. I think in later games, like this fight was really sort of a testing ground for Bed of Chaos, in my opinion, because, you know, in Bed of Chaos, when you make progress in that fight by destroying certain sections or certain things happening, that progress actually remains consistent. So I think one positive change Blue Point could have made, but they didn't, is instead of staying dogmatically faithful in this one design aspect, they could have stuck with the design of Bed of Chaos and switched to that instead. Simply put, where when you fire off a ballista bolt and you hit the Dragon God, that stays consistent. Like, that ballista bolt has now been fired. You don't have to do that again, and as a result, the Dragon God will not try to kill you on the top platform. I honestly think that would have been a positive change, and if somehow you die after firing the second ballista bolt, Dragon God is still pinned to the ground. It's now just a matter of just walking up to him and doing what you got to do, and his HP stays wherever it is based on, you know, the amount of ballistas he's taking. More than likely, they probably don't have the know-how or the ability to figure out how to pull that off, but I think that would have been a positive change for this fight, and I think most players would have been happy with it, because it wouldn't have changed the mechanics of how this works. It wouldn't have changed the fact that it's just a pure gimmick fight, and it's just a matter of dumb luck and perfect execution. But you know, it would have removed some of the annoyance of the fight. It would have removed some of that annoyance. But anyway, at this point, I'm equipping my Dragon Longsword +5, because I remember there is in fact a gecko up there by the second ballista. I remember that. So I remember there's a gecko, and I'm like, I don't want to use the Dragon Mode Smasher because I don't have the stats, so the what damage I do with it is going to be laughable, right? So my idea is when I get up to that second ballista, I'll switch to the Dragon Longsword +5 and kill the gecko. So here I'm just being very cautious. I'm waiting for him to look away. I'm waiting for his eyes to be 100% yellow. And now I'm going to gun it. We're going to gun it because we can make it in one run. We can make it. He fired behind me. Oh, shit. I remembered the gecko. I forgot the second pillar. And then I make a mistake. Let's gun it. Let's gun it. No, don't gun it. You died. What would have been a clean first attempt run resulted in me dying because in the last critical second I panicked because I forgot that last pillar was there. What I should have done when I got to that point was break the pillar and then run back. That's right. Break the pillar, turn around, wait for the fire to stop, and run back and get behind one of the pillars down at the base. He would have lost sight of me again. I could have waited for him to simply look away, and once he looked away, I could have just made a mad dash all the way up the stairs, and I would have easily beaten that flame. In fact, I might have beaten that flame anyway if it weren't for the fact that I was out of stamina from swinging the Dragon Bone Smasher and having wasted stamina on a pointless roll and extra sprinting. But yeah, what was otherwise a perfect run got screwed because I simply forgot that there was that one last pillar. And yeah, that's literally what happened. I remembered that there's a stupid gecko up there, but I forgot that there's one last pillar. Now notice this time I don't even bother going for the gecko. It's okay, they'll respawn. It's not a big deal, it's okay if you miss it. I don't know why I'm rolling so much. Rolling isn't really going to help against this guy when you're fat rolling. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm now thinking about getting my souls back. Even though I didn't really have very many, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, let's go get my souls. Oh, wait. Maybe you should have run back to the pillar and reset instead of just trying to charge through. As the dragon god grabs my face and says hi. So now I've lost my souls, so you would think I calm down a little bit and take a deep breath and say, hey man, forget about your souls, they're gone now. Just focus up and focus on replicating what you did in that first attempt, right? Why would Kark do that? That's what you should do. That's just dumb. Don't do what you should do. Do something dumb instead. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to go walk in the fall gate for attempt number 3. And if I remember correctly, this is the attempt that really, really annoyed me. You'll see why. If I remember correctly. So once again, I swung early, like ridiculously early. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to be swinging in the hallway like that. I broke this pillar, and I run all the way back, so I'm like, I'm going to be a little cautious. So I'm going to run back. I move up to the second pillar, and I wait. Okay, his eyes are yellow. He doesn't see me. Let's wait for him to look away, because now, see, he's going to, by default, going to look towards where I'm going. So I don't want to move yet. I want to wait. Just for the record, I do see the video is ending here shortly. So I'm good, right? I made it. Nope. Forgot about that double punch. and ironically, I was standing exactly where he chose to double punch. So I got 100% full on killed there. And now I'm definitely a little bit irritated. But I do see the video looks like it's going to be ending here within the next minute or so. So I'm probably going to stop it after. I think this attempt will go through. If not, you're just going to see a fade to black for no apparent reason. But I think this attempt finishes out and we get part way into the next one based on the video duration. Because I'm watching this DLC media player. And just commenting over top as I see what's going on. But yeah, that was a pretty bad one. That one definitely got me down. And there we go again. We just walked straight into his fist. I have no idea what the hell I was thinking. So yeah, it continues like this for a little bit. Kark is definitely a little tilted now and just a little irritated. Mostly because I'm frustrated over that first attempt getting botched at the last second. So we're going to stop here for now, and we'll resume from where the footage continues when I realized what happened and everything recovered. See you in a bit. And welcome back to Dragon God. Here I am on the bottom level. You can tell I've gone back to the Nexus and changed out my gear, so I had much faster, much lower weight limit, so I could move faster and had a better roll. But yeah, I was literally mid-run when I realized that I wasn't recording anymore. And I think what happened was on the software I use for recording the capture card, Rec Central, there's like a little status bar that will show up. You can't see it in recordings, but it kind of shows up at the bottom if you move your mouse or something. And I think what happened was I moved my mouse and I realized the recording icon wasn't lit. Or I don't even think I moved my mouse. I think I nudged my mouse, and the little menu popped up, and I noticed the recording icon was not lit. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And that's when I kind of realized everything had kind of gone to poopy. And I was literally mid-run when that happened. So, yeah, at this point I'm definitely very much frustrated. I don't really know how many runs were lost. We're going to assume it was 5. I'm just going to call it 5 runs, and we're going to add 5 to the death total right now, on top of whatever it was. I wasn't really counting during the previous footage. So on top of whatever it was from the previous footage, we're going to add another 5 onto that and call it even. So here we go. Yep, we're going to take a swing. And I forgot to mention this, I believe, in the first part. But Dragon God has this thing where, as I said, his eyes are yellow if he doesn't see you, but sometimes he will just get really pissy and angry, and he'll start shaking his head around, and his eyes will turn red. That doesn't mean he saw you. Sometimes it's just something he does. And I've noticed him doing it by this point, so I'm kind of waiting to see him do it, but he's not doing it. I find this fight is really strange because it's just odd. I feel like sometimes his behavior was slightly different between runs. Like he would some runs he'd be a little more Johnny on the spot. Other runs he'd be like almost oblivious. So it's kind of like there was a luck element in a lot of ways. Like I remember there was one run that was lost where I was down here, and he was just constantly stopping to do the red eye head shake thing, constantly. And when I broke this second pillar, even though I felt like he was looking away when I did it, he actually like zoned in on me and saw him he was all over me like white on rice, basically, almost instantly as soon as I broke the pillar. And I ended up getting killed by his fire breath spam. And as you can see here, he's just like, I don't care. Broke a pillar, that's fine. I'm no big deal. So he's still looking around, looking for me. And I'm just at this point, I've become uber insanely cautious at this point because I really just want to get this stupid fight done. And it's frustrating because it's not like I didn't remember how to do this fight. I do remember how to do this fight. It's just there's also like I said, there's kind of a luck component to it, but also once you kind of get annoyed, it's really easy to rush, and rushing in this fight is bad. I'm hoping he also doesn't want to look at me because I'm wearing my condom head. So somehow I think he might have seen me there and I panicked. He didn't see me. Here I'm being very stupid. Now I should turn around here. I do. Okay. But I think I screw up. Yep, I do. I thought I was far enough back. What happened where I thought I was far enough back? If I had really just run just a few more feet, I'd have been fine. So I really just got lazy there in the last possible second. I thought I was good, but I just didn't run far enough. If I'd just gone like 5 more steps, he'd have missed me. I'd have been behind the pillar. He'd have lost sight of me again, and then I would have been good to go. That would have been it. Again, I panicked a little bit because I saw him do the red angry face, and I assumed that meant he saw me, so I kind of panicked a little bit. So here comes the Dragon Apache. And then, at this point I've stopped caring about the crystal geckos. I'm not worried about it. I know he's over there, but I don't care. I'm letting him get away. I think the crystal geckos, at least in here, will respawn if you don't kill them, because I feel like I never really... Like, if they followed the normal gecko rules where if they run away and fade out, they're gone, trust me, by now I wouldn't have any crystal geckos left. So I feel like the rules might be slightly different for them in this room. Maybe I'm just out of my mind and imagining it. I don't know. So, yep, there he goes. And now I'm dodging toward the first hand because I expect hand number 2 to come double punching down by this point. So instead of actually trying to break anything, I'm like, you know what? We're going to chill. We're going to wait. Let him do his little head swing. Let him think about things. Contemplate life. He's looking away. Here we go. And now I'm being super cautious again. I'm going to run back. And again, I don't know what's causing that. It looks like it's his other hand, but it's kind of strange. So again, I'm just going to pull back. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't get through that time. I took some damage. Let's just pull back. But I knew I could take the hit from that range. I knew I could take a niggling hit, right? So we gun it, and we make it through before his punch lands. Let's fire off the ballista. By this point, I'm tired of seeing this animation, so I probably skip it. Well, look, I skipped it. On a lot of attempts, I did get to this part. I'd say it was about 50-50 that I got down here when it was all said and done. So now we're back. This is literally where we resumed. And you can tell I'm taking way more time now. Like it's not even close how much more cautious I'm being at this point than I was in the first one. Like I think looking at the original recording, it stops at around minute 14, I think. And how many attempts was that? You know, and here we are. I'm halfway through one attempt when the recording starts, and now I'm doing a second attempt, and I've already spent 7 minutes according to VLC Media Player. So literally half of the original footage has been spent on the equivalent of one run, you know, because if you add the two halves together, it's basically been one run. So as I said, you can tell I'm being a lot more cautious, a lot more patient, a lot more methodical. Now see here, he's doing it. He's doing his angry head shake. I'm like, I'm just going to be super cautious. I'm going to run all the way back here, because back here he can't hurt you, he can't punch you, he can't get you with fire. You're totally safe behind that stairwell. So he clearly doesn't see me. He's moving his big old head to his right, my left. Yeah, let's look around. Blinky, blink, blinky, blink. Yeah, I really wish they had taken a cue from Bed of Chaos and just redesigned this fight slightly to make progress stick between attempts. Because that wouldn't have really changed the fight. It would have been the same fight. It just would have made it so you didn't have to repeat. Yeah, I feel like he saw me, so I'm going to go ahead and run back just to be on the safe side. And he did. There comes the fire. Yeah, and that's ultimately the lesson with this guy. Better safe than sorry. If you think he saw you, don't take a risk. Run away to where you know it's safe. Just do it. Don't take any risks. It's the guy who takes risks who dies in this fight. If you take no risks, you should be okay. And again, this is just another example of my confusion, his attitude and behavioral changes, because you'll notice in that last attempt, he never did the crazy red-eye head shake thing, and now he's just doing it at random. And it's like, I don't know if it's because he saw me, I don't know what's prompting him to do it here where he wasn't doing it before. He's looking left. And for the record, I'm overdubbing this audio on purpose, because by the time I realized the video crashed and I'd lost my audio and all that, because I checked, I didn't immediately keep playing. I knew I was in a safe spot, so I stopped and I checked my files and so on, and I saw what I had. I was pretty frustrated and annoyed, so I'm like, okay, look, I'm not even going to attempt. I don't have a little freak out there. I realize that's just his general mad guy head shake. He's looking away, so I go for it. And this time I just gun it. And like I said, I make it because I wasn't out of stamina. And I think I'd forgotten to equip the Dragon Longsword. I did, yeah. But I do it quickly enough that I get the guy anyway. And there we go. And see, that was the trick. You can get both in one shot. You can get both pillars and get up the stairs in one shot. You just can't be stamina depleted when you do it. So when I was running up that second time, you notice I wasn't fully sprinting. I was just kind of running. Or by running, I mean just moving up at full speed. So now the fight is basically over. Dragon God is down. He is pinned to the floor. And you immediately see I'm going for the asshole method as I pull out my bow immediately. I've bothered looking at the achievement list for this game. since I completed stuff. There's a Master's Ring. I already had one from Execution Meralda. There's a lot of repeat loot in this game. But I've looked at the achievement list for this game since this video because I was just curious what some of the achievements were. In my opinion, the achievements are far easier in this version of the game than the original game. Because the original game asked you to do things like make plus 10 of every weapon, I think. Oh, God. Yeah, that was a pain. That's a pain in the ass. But here we are. The achievement for this fight, by the way, is you kill him using the Hands of God. My name's Karkarov, and I'm the Hands of Tired of effing around. So I'm going to kill him by standing a good distance away and just shooting him in his chin with a bow until he dies. There's no achievement for this, but I do get a sick satisfaction of taking away any ability he has of defending himself by killing him through that method. So why did I do that as opposed to just walking up and stabbing him in the chin? That's because that little light red foggy breath he seemed to be emitting that just seems like light red foggy breath. Yeah, no, that's actual fire, and it will kill you if you get hit by it. So, you know, you might be able to survive one little breath, but two probably going to kill you, and it can possibly chain. So I was just like, no, I'm not even taking any risks here. Not going to happen. No risks, no reward. We're going to be a cheap bastard. Now here we looted a Nexial Agent and another pure Dragonstone shard. So I don't know what the hell the Nexial Agent is, because that's new. And by the way, by killing the Dragon God, I now have access to 1-3. There's my pure Dragonstone. You can tell it literally looks like a dragon knucklebone. Nexial Agent allows travel across the regions connected by the Nexus. The Nexial Agent allows the user freedom to travel between regions as though stepping through the Nexus. So what is that item? I kind of miss it, I think, here in a second when I check it. Man, I didn't get many souls, even though having the Ring of Avarice on, he was only worth 30,000 souls. It's kind of lame. If you look at the top, like, I'm confused. I thought it would just be a total list of all the places you could teleport to. I don't know why I thought that. But yeah, if you look at the top, there's an R1, L1. You can R1, L1, and it will show you to the different maps. This is how I feel about the entire fight and the Nexial Agent. Nah. I'm wearing a condom on my head. What do you want me to say? Video's about to end, but I'm going to talk for a second longer. So, basically, the Nexial Agent gives you the access to R1, L1 on the Archstone transport screen, and it just lets you switch between worlds. So you can just teleport from one world to another without having to go to the Nexus first. To be honest, I don't see a whole lot of use in that. Occasionally, it's helpful, but I don't see a whole ton of use in it. One thing it is good for, and I'll mention it now, and it makes a big difference for world tendency stuff, is, and this is why I suggest you don't do any black world tendency events until after you get the Nexial Agent. That is that, and I need to check. Okay, I'm actually going to throw a comment in the corner because I've actually, at this point, I've already beaten the game, and I've just got video editing to do. But I don't know if you keep the Nexial Agent between games. I don't know if you lose that after you go in the New Game Plus. So I'll confirm if you lose it or not, and I'll throw it in the corner. But if you're going to do a Black World Tendency event, you definitely don't want to do it until you have the Nexial Agent, because generally speaking, you'll have a Black Phantom, Red Phantom, whatever type of Phantom to deal with. But there will also be a Primeval Demon that you can kill for a colorless demon soul to upgrade your cool rarer stuff. But they're almost never in the same world, right? Like, for example, in Stonefang, where we just were, the Black World Tendency event for the Phantom is in 2-2, but the event for the Primeval Demon is in 2-1. So they're like in completely different sections of the level. I think with this Nexial Agent, you'll be able to do the event in, say, 2-1, and then teleport straight to 2-2 without a world tendency change happening, because the world tendency changes don't apply until you actually go to the Nexus. So as long as you stay in World 2, your tendency changes won't effect. So basically, I think they put that item in the game not because it serves any great purpose or it's really convenient to be able to do that. I think they put it in game simply so you can do the Black World Tendency events without having to run the whole freaking level from start to finish. You know, the 2 and the 1 parts in one shot, and you just don't have to go back to the Nexus. Basically, I think that's why they put it in the game, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind that being added to the game. It's not a big deal, and it makes doing the Black Tendency events a little more convenient. It's not that you couldn't do them both at the same time before. You could. It's just there was a lot more risk involved, and it was kind of dicey. But whatever. Dragon God is dead. We're cutting the video here. I'll put something in the background while I'm talking here because this is a lot of chitty chat after the video ended. And we do have some bonus footage coming up where I show off the White World Tendency event for, well, the other half of the White World Tendency event for World 2. And that is where we go have a chit chat with Skirvir the Wanderer. Skirvir the Wanderer. Anyway, see you once again in a bit. Thanks much. Howdy, howdy. Here we are, back in the Stonefang 2-2 area. I figure now that we have pure White World Tendency, we may as well do the White World Tendency event, and I may as well film it. Especially because I haven't gotten any of this drop down yet, so you can kind of see that. Hopefully this won't take but a moment, and then we can show it as some bonus footage somewhere. I don't really know where I'll fit it in, but I'll fit it in somewhere. Or I'll do something really stupid and probably get myself killed early by double rolling. I survived, but I may have just missed some loot. Whoops. So what we're really aiming for here is, it's hard to see from here, but there's like a little cave lip where we can kind of land in a cave and go that way. That's kind of what we're going for here. It's been a long time since I've done this, so I'm going to have to look around a little bit and kind of think about what I want to do. Mostly for this, I just want to do this safely and show the actual event. It occurs to me I also screwed up and forgot to bring a very important thing with me. So I can't technically do the full event, but I'll tell you what it is. Probably. Let's see here. Yeah, that was livable. Okay, let's see here. Yep. Just need to verify where it's good to drop. Should be good to drop here. Plague resistance ring. That could come in handy. Now we want to kind of step out. It's over here. And you don't want to drop onto that platform, because if you do, I'm not sure that you can get up that lip. So what we want to do is we want to... Ooh, don't do it. Don't do it. We want to walk along this beam. Now we can just drop off and we're good to go. So there are some geckos in here, so we need to be careful. Especially because we don't want to kill old Skirvir. He's chilling like a villain. Nicely done. Nicely done. Some chunks. And some more chunkage. So this is Skirvir the Wanderer. Yeah. Skirvir the Wanderer is apparently now a Chad dude bro in this version of the game. Despite the fact that his, which I will show, because why the hell not, his loading screen concept art actually had him facing down, holding his hand in front of his face. If anything, he was kind of doing This pose, we'll see if we can find it real quick. If anything, he was kind of doing a more dramatic version of that pose with his hand even higher, like holding over his face. He definitely didn't look like a dude, bro. He definitely wasn't blonde. His hair was white. And, yeah, his face wasn't, like, blocky. Who wants to put bets on his voice actor being changed?
Oh, there you guys. You nearly frightened me to death, creeping up on me like that. My name is Scurver. I seek treasures of the unknown. I'm impressed you've come this far. Were you guided by a sixth sense? Or just plain lucky? Either way, you're quite something. Shall we put your luck or skill to the test? Have you heard of the temple below? It is a work of art, molded by the ancient burrowers to appease the bones of dragons. As a precaution, a broad sword which can crush the bones of drakes is stored in the temple. Truth told, it's the laughingstock of many a swordsmith. They say it's as blunt as a bludgeon. A dull blade, meant to slay a dragon. Curious, is it not? I would search for it myself, but I'm afraid I'd fare poorly against the demons. If you happen to come upon the sword, please, let me have a look at it. This place is incredible, eh? The bones of dragons, exuding awe. A dream come true.
I love how Blue Soul is copying the line about dragon bones exuding ore, which is also said by Baldwin at one point. And yet, in this version of the game, the dragon bones clearly are the ore. Like, if you look at a pure dragon stone in the inventory, it's literally just a large chunk of bone. It looks like a dragon's, like, knuckle, one of the dragon's knuckle bones or something. It doesn't look like ore at all. Man, I'm pretty darn certain that voice actor was changed. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll look it up and find out and put it in the comments. I will give the prize for guy who's able to make the most whack out looking expression while doing something that's supposed to be a smile and yet keeping his teeth closed the whole time. Definitely goes to Chad the Wanderer here, because Jesus Christ, was he making some faces that even Patches would be envious of. Gear-wise, his look is very different in this game, and it's just because they redesigned the gear. Like, the leather armor looks very different in this game than it did in the original game, and he's wearing the leather gloves, leather boot, and the chain chest. The chain chest does look like the chain set, other than the gloves, looks pretty much like a more slightly fancier version of the original chain set, so I don't really dislike that set. I think they did okay there. The gloves look different. Like, the gloves are a lot fancier and aren't chain anymore. They're now leather gloves with these metal plates on them, but that's, you know, whatever. The rest of the set pretty much looks okay. I think the actual, like the chainmail that was hanging down over the legs was much longer in the original than it is now, but it's mostly the same design, so I'm okay with that. So let's see if we can finish the drop and maybe get some more loot, and then we'll call it a day. Just for the record, if you show him the Dragon Bone Smasher, which I feel like a dunce for forgetting to bring it with me, considering I came to this level literally just to do this, he'll give you the Pure Greystone, which is the upgrade item for strength weapons. Yeah, that's safe. I almost wasn't because I bounced off the side, but yeah. So now let's take a look. See, there is some more loot to get potentially, so I kind of want to see if I can get more of it. Can I go off right here, or do I need to move further? I can go off right here. See, this isn't as bad as, say, and we're already basically at the Tutu area. That's where, if you come through the traditional way, that little cave entrance right there is where you pop out. And I think I've already gotten the gecko or lost the gecko or whatever the gecko a bunch of times. I don't know if I ever mentioned in the video. I'm sure I'll probably mention it in the video because I haven't actually done the tutu video yet. But there is a great way of getting that gecko is simply to... Yeah, why not? Yeah, it works. A great way of getting that gecko that's on that platform over there somewhere is just to... Or maybe it's... Oh, no, there he is. It's this platform. Is just to... shoot him with your bow. I should have my bow now, in fact. I can probably shoot him from here, actually. Let's try it. What the hell? Oh, I don't have any arrows equipped. What a dunce. Helps if you actually have arrows equipped. Pretty easy from this angle too. So now I don't have to worry, but like I was thinking I could try to do a rolling leap whatever and land on that platform then get him from the top, but that just seems risky. A lot smarter to just do this. And I land at the traditional entrance to this room. I should have probably just put on my, I mean, I carry it for this very reason. Sometimes I'm just silly. Come on, you can do it. And there we go, some loot. But yeah, I think I'll call it there. Hopefully this wasn't a little too draggy. But yeah, it's just that's the White World Tendency event, other than getting the Dragon Bone Smasher, which is going to be shown in the video where I kill Dragon God. And once again, apologize for the technical issues that happened in that video. I may actually put this... Actually, after that video is probably the best place to put this. Even though didn't do this until, like, I've already beaten 1-3 and killed the Penetrator and all that by the time I filmed this. But whatever. Thanks again for watching. Hope everybody has a great day. And we will see you when I see you and or get this uploaded.